Hey everybody, I am Jim from Purple Otter Sunrise, and welcome to today's episode of Tuesday Tips. I think last week's episode was just a gift, so the bar is low. Today we're going to help improve your filmmaking skills with 8 tips on lenses, one of my favorite topics. Now these are just beginner tips, so if you already know everything there is to know about cameras, you're dismissed. But today we're just going to be talking about the practical side of lenses, specifically when to use certain focal lengths and how they can help tell your story, how they can help you move the camera a lot better, that kind of thing. So with no further ado, let's get started with tip number 1. Now this is a very basic one. For a wide shot, you're going to want to use a wide lens. You really want to add some scope and some distance to your shot on that Z-axis, keep your actor small in the frame, and really show the expanse of your shot, then yes, definitely go wide for wide. And keeping with the basics, for a close-up you're going to want to use a long lens. Let your actor fill the screen, let their eyes pop, their face, their expression. Now to turn that all around, you can also use a wide lens for a close-up, which is a great way to show that your character is distressed or something. You get that cool, distorted fisheye look to the shot. And you can also feel free to use a long lens for a wide shot. This is a great way to leave your actors a little bit bigger in the frame while still showing some space behind them. And for a bonus tip, you can split the difference and use something like a 35mm lens to do what we call Z-axis blocking, which is a great way to kind of shoot your actors on a diagonal instead of having them stand side by side and kind of cover your whole scene in a single shot. Now let's talk about camera movement and how different focal lengths are going to give you better or worse results. Alright, for the classic push-in, we tend to always use a wide-angle lens. This way you can really see the movement a lot more. If you use too long of a lens on a push-in, you're not even going to see the camera moving. And this is also a great technique if your actors are moving in and out of the Z-axis of the camera. Alright, so for any kind of trucking shot or side-to-side motion, this is where you're going to want to use a long lens to get that cool parallax effect and really see the cameras moving. Once again, if you go too wide on a side-to-side shot, you may not even notice that the camera's moving. But this is a great way to add some cool parallax to your shots, some movement, even if you're moving slow or if you're moving fast. Putting a long lens on the camera rig for these side-to-side shots is a cool way to go. Now if you're doing a stupid gimbal shot like a walkie-talkie, where the camera operator is in front of the actors walking backwards as they walk forwards, shots like this would benefit from a wider angle lens. Once again, the camera is moving on the Z-axis of the shot, so you can really see the movement a lot better with a wider lens. Another advantage to using a wide lens on a stupid gimbal shot is that any kind of drift or bounciness or unwanted movement that you can get with a gimbal shot is going to be far less noticeable if you're on a wide lens. Now if you're shooting handheld and you really want it to look handheld, you're going to want to use a long lens. Using a long lens on a handheld rig will really accentuate any movements of the camera, really amplify them. And it's a great technique if you're filming a fight scene like we did for Amber Waves, because the camera movements are as violent as the action going on, and you're not going to see that with a wide lens. And there you have it, 8 basic camera lens tips for beginner filmmakers. Hopefully you learned something. I know I didn't. We'll see you next week. Thanks.